Love wants you, we can bring it on the floor. Never danced like this before. We don't talk about it.
Hey guys, what's cracking? It is Krakenation. We are back after a very long time of not making a video. I'm apologizing for that. I've just been super busy. Life has been hectic, and I just haven't really had like the willpower to make the time, honestly. But I want to start getting into some of the Gen 7 stuff as well as the CSL. It's looking pretty exciting right now. If for those who don't know, I'm in finals, so we're gonna be starting to pick up the videos a little bit, hopefully. But I figured what we're gonna start off with is something that I always like to do a lot, and that was gonna be these analysis videos. So basically, the format has changed a little bit. I hope you guys like this new graphic, but we're gonna be looking again just the usual stats, how this Pokemon functions in its respective roles on various teams, how it fits into teams, stuff like that. So yeah, we're just going to be going through all the different Gen 7 Pokemon that I feel like are going to be competitively viable. What's nice about this series is that it allows me to get a chance to learn about the Pokemon myself as well, because I am still in the process of starting to understand these Pokemon just like everybody else. So hopefully this could be a learning experience together. But we're going to start off today with Tapu Lele. And so Tapu Lele has 70 HP, 80 attack, 75 defense, 130 special attack, 115 special defense, and 95 speed. It is a Psychic Fairy type with the ability Psychic Surge. It's one of the Island Guardians. That's some like in-game knowledge, I guess. But so right off the bat, you're gonna see that whopping special attack stat. 130 is definitely not what it once was, as I think like almost every single Pokemon that is considered like specially offensive is going to hit around like some kind of like 120, 130, 140 type number, but it definitely is nothing to scoff at, and it is a very formidable stat. What really makes that special attack stat so intimidating is the ability Psychic Surge, which is basically a 50% boost. It's like a free specs boost, but to any Psychic type attack it clicks, which is quite frankly nuts. 130 special attack, let's say you're like holding a specs or holding some kind of boosting item, and then to tag on another 50% damage is really formidable when you factor in the fact that 130 special attack is already like very good. Obviously, the special defense is also pretty good. It definitely is lacking in physical defense, and that's going to be kind of like how this mon is drawn into balance, as well as its speed stat. 95 definitely isn't bad, but with metagame, at least in Gen 6, that was incredibly fast-paced and speed creeping, I think this is going to be one of those Pokemon that like Game Freak and Nintendo are making an effort to kind of slow all the Pokemon back down, because last generation there were so many super fast mons. I know a lot of the Ultra Beasts are pretty fast now, but this is so what I'm trying to say is that 95 speed isn't really that fast in yesterday's metagame. I want to see, but I'm not really sure, so I want to see how it ends up falling as far as where the speed tiers are in tomorrow's metagame, because these things do constantly change and evolve. But yeah, so the Psychic Fairy typing is definitely a cool typing. It's the same as Mega Gardevoir. It offers some pretty cool offensive possibilities, but it is a little redundant at times. I think the one nice thing is that your one immunity to Psychic is Dark, and then Fairy hits that. But they do also share a couple of resistance in Steel, so that's definitely a problem. Also, but like yeah, there's some redundancy as far as like they both just hit Fighting type, they both just hit can't hit Steel type. But also, like, they kind of balance out with, like, Dark types and Poison types. Also, what's a really cool thing about this is the ability Psychic Surge creates the Psychic Terrain, which not only boosts your 50% special Psychic attacks, but it also prevents priority attacks, which is really big because a lot of priority attacks are physical, and that allows Tapu Lele, who maybe is a potentially fast mon, I guess we don't know yet, but it allows Tapu Lele to be able to not get out prioritized all the time. This is not only beneficial for it, but really factors into it when it comes to team building, which is what we're going to start to take a look at next. So it fits into teams that want a special tank and or a wall breaker, obviously, which is something we just went over. Definitely has some good special bulk. Nothing to scoff at with 115. It could run a potential Assault Vest set. I don't know if I would recommend that, because just the fact that it doesn't, its typing doesn't really lend itself to Assault Vest is kind of what I want to say, because a lot of the Pokemon that are going to hit you are going to try to hit you on the physical side anyways. Whoa. But So it's gonna fit as a wall breaker, however. So if you run a Specs with a Psychic Surge, that's basically adaptability attached to your Psychic Stab. So that's quite frankly nuts. And then with like Psychic Surge gives you that adaptability, and then you have the Specs boost. Things aren't gonna want to take that coming off 130. It OHKOs like so many things. I remember I was doing a Calculate almost OHKOs, like almost guaranteed OHKOs pre-Marina if it's not invested, which is just nuts because Prima is especially bulky. But it's oftentimes limited by its item as far as like what role it's going to run on a team. That isn't to say it's bad at doing what it does, but it's the way its speed functions kind of. It's like if you want it to be a fast Pokemon on a more offensively oriented team, it's going to need to run a Scarf. And then if you want it to be really offensive, it's going to probably need to run Specs or Life Orb. It isn't like super versatile as far as that goes. I guess Life Orb is nice, but basically if it runs Wall Breaker or Cleaner or what, it's going to be almost completely dependent on its item. And I think that isn't necessarily a bad thing to any means. I just want to put that there because there are also Pokemon that like aren't really held back always by their item. I think some examples like Keldeo. I think if you run like a leftovers Keldeo, you can really do a lot of different things with it. There's definitely Pokemon in general that just their item is not their most significant factor, and I think for Tapu Lele, while it's not, it just dictates how it fits into the various teams you put it in. And on that note, while it definitely fits in like a more bulky offense archetype, I think Psychic Terrain makes it valuable for fast but frail teammates. One Pokemon that I've been really enjoying pairing it with is Mega Sharpedo, because Mega Sharpedo obviously is so fast and so powerful, but it's also just made of glass, so things like Priority Mach Punch no longer work, and Mega Sharpedo is able to finally be the sweeper it wants to without fearing priority, at least for the short few turns that Psychic Surge is able to provide it. That hopefully that's long enough, but I think it's just an interesting kind of tidbit because it allowed Tapu Lele to find value to contribute on a more offensively oriented team, whereas otherwise I feel like Tapu Lele might fit into a more balanced team, maybe a more bulky offense team. I don't know, but so that's going to be all we got for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Tapu Lele. If you did, leave a comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff. It is always very appreciated. I always used to say that, didn't I? But yeah, hopefully I'm going to hope to be able to make these videos more often. If there's any Pokemon in Gen 7 that you guys specifically want me to visit, just let me know, and I'd be more than happy to. But until next time, I'll see you guys later. Krakenation out.
See ya!